What's up guys, welcome back to the vlog. This is my 2007 Chevy Silverado. I'm going to go ahead and replace the radiator hoses, and the transmission cooler lines because, as you can tell from the title, I've been having some overheating issues. So let's go ahead and knock this out. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the air intake. This is an aftermarket one, so it's probably going to look a lot different than the ones that you have, which might be an OEM one, but it's the same process. Basically, you're going to remove the clamps, both ends going to the box and to the throttle body, and then we'll remove the intake tube and the connector to the mass airflow metering sensor. There's going to be some 10mm bolts here. There's going to be brackets for the oil cooler or transmission cooler lines, and we're going to remove that, get that out of the way from the fan shroud, and then basically get all these, anything that's connected to the fan shroud, out of the way so that we can remove the bolts on the fan shroud, and then go ahead and lift this up and get this out of our way. Next, we're going to remove the radiator fan connectors. There should be one right here, and then one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and remove those. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think there's only two 13mm bolts that's holding this fan shroud, and then it just should just come out. We'll see. I think that's everything, but could be wrong. I'm missing one bracket down here. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought. It's pretty simple. I'll just show you. Oh, by the way, it is way easier working on a truck when you have a nice little step ladder. So anyways, if you go down here, I'll just show you real quickly what I removed. So I had to remove both of these transmission cooler line brackets. One right here, and then one down here is the one that I missed earlier. And then I had to remove both connectors connecting to the fan shroud fans, and then of course the two 13mm bolts that bolted up to the radiator support. On this vehicle, there is no drain plug on the radiator, so what you have to do is remove the lower radiator hose to drain the coolant out. I know the right way to do it is to drain it from here, but honestly, I think it's gonna be way easier if I just get this hose off right here and then just point it down and then drain it that way, because this one's kind of a hard spot to get to. I'm gonna be replacing all of it. Either way, it's all gonna get drained out, so It's just a preference, but you're gonna want to remove the lower radiator hose. From which end is up to you. Okay. Kansas weather is so unpredictable, so it was really cold this morning, and then now it's starting to get really hot, so I'm gonna have to probably be changing outfits throughout this and whole entire bit. But anyways, it's hot right now. It's probably gonna get cold later. Let's continue. After removing the radiator fans, I started draining the coolant by disconnecting the lower radiator hose. I then removed the upper radiator hose. Now that I removed the upper radiator hose, it's time to remove the transmission cooler lines. First thing you want to do is remove this cap. And then you'll have access to removing this retainer clip. I don't have good luck using the quick disconnect tool. You can use a pick, but I use a pocket screwdriver. Ends up working a lot better, I think. So what I do is I'll stick it right here in the side and then kind of twist it to work it out, and then you should just be able to get the line off that way. You might have to remove the clip, then you should be able to remove that line. It should just be able to just come right back off. Basically, you're just going to get one side in, and then you're going to be able to rock it back and forth, and then it should just clip back on, and then you should just be able to get your line back in. The minute I go underneath, it's going to be hard for me to film, but basically it's the same process. Oh, and by the way, I am blind as a bat. Moving underneath the vehicle, I'm going to need to remove these clips to the transmission cooler lines that run along all the way down, and there's probably some more clips down there. I'm just giving you an idea. All that's gonna have to be removed before I can remove both of these transmission cooler lines. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the process of that.
Tomorrow.
Okay, today is the next day. I finally got the automatic transmission cooler lines out of the Silverado. This was a bitch to get off. It took me hours to get this. You literally had to go on top of the transmission like this, trying to do some sort of witchcraft magic in order to get these small clips out of these ends of these lines. I managed to get it off. It took me a long time, but now we can get rid of this and finally move on to installing the radiator in the Silverado. Alright, now that the transmission cooler lines are out of the way, time to remove the radiator. I believe there's only two 13mm bolts, one here and then one more right here. Should just be able to pop it out and then swing it out. I believe that's it. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. This is the old radiator. Hunk junk. Some things to note that when you're replacing a radiator, the new ones most likely won't have these rubber grommets with it. You'd have to buy that separately, but in this case I'm just going to reuse the ones from the old ones. I'm going to take these off and then swap them over to the new radiator. This one was leaking. I can't remember if it was probably from this side or if it was from this side, but anyways, it was leaking in between here from the plastic piece to the actual metal part here from the fence. Internally leaking. We're gonna go ahead and swap this out, get a new radiator in there. Hopefully she'll be running nice and cool. I'm gonna do a little unboxing. Don't worry, it's broken. This is the new radiator. Let's see what goodies we have inside. Whoo! She looking nice. Real nice. Well, I lied. It looks like the new radiator actually has new little rubber grommer feet to it, so I don't have to worry about swapping those over. Anytime you get a new radiator, just be careful not to put much pressure on these fins. Be very delicate, because these can easily get crushed and ruined. And even though it's a brand new radiator, you're always gonna have little like marks like right here and stuff like that, so don't get discouraged or anything. This is an OEM radiator. It's not like a Koyo or a Greddy or something aftermarket. Mishimoto, I guess, for a Silverado. The only thing I want to make sure is, yes, it has the mounting grommet. I think it comes with everything, honestly. The only thing I do want to see is if in here, yes, it does. So I don't know if you can see, but right in here, transmission cooler line, it comes with those new clips. Those pita clips that was kind of a pain to do when getting it out. These comes with new ones, which is actually really exciting, because if for whatever reason you end up losing maybe one of them or two, at least you can reuse some of the ones that from here underneath the vehicle. So pretty cool. Comes with basically everything that you need. All right, let's go ahead and install this thing.
Okay, so now the process is going to be pretty much the same except for in reverse order. First, I'll be installing the radiator. Next, the lower radiator hose. Then the radiator fans. And then the transmission cooler lines. Don't forget to reconnect the radiator fan plugs. Next, install the upper radiator hose. Next, reconnect the coolant overflow hose to the radiator. Then, reinstall the air intake system.
Okay, so I am using Dex Cool from AC Delco. It's full concentrate coolant, so it's gonna be a 50-50 mixture. If you are gonna do a 50-50 mixture with adding your own water, I would highly recommend getting distilled water instead of the water from your like garden hose or inside or whatever, because those, you don't know if it's clean water. Basically, it could be minerals in there, little particles that could potentially ruin your engine over time. Now, a lot of people have gone away with it, not a huge deal. This is my vehicle. I'm just gonna play it safe. This is literally not even $1 at Walmart. So a gallon of water is less than $1. Why not? I'll probably go half of this and then half the water and then half of this again and then the rest of the water. So we got about 50-50 water and coolant. What I'm gonna do is start the vehicle, and then this coolant's gonna lower down, and then we're just gonna keep on adding until basically no air bubbles. Coolant's topped off at full operating temperature. Keep on adding until it's at full, and you should be good to go. And then we'll take it for a test drive, double check coolant levels, and make sure that everything is working order, everything is fine. Basically what you want to do is set this on high. I like this setting pretty much blowing on my face, and then set this all the way on heat. So then now we're gonna go and top off coolant. So yeah, that coolant went straight down. So I'm gonna top that off real quick. I've got it up to warm operating temperatures. So now I'm gonna take it for a test drive and make sure everything's all good.
Okay, so the test drive was a success. I only had to top off fluids one more time, double checked underneath the vehicle to see if there was any leaks. Couldn't find any. Vehicle's running at full operating temperature with the gauge right exactly dead center in the middle. Thank you guys for watching. Please consider subscribing if you like this type of content, and don't forget to hit that like button. I will see you guys in the next vlog. Peace.